Hey, let's try this crap again. Alright. Howdy, howdy. Steph and Skip Cain, how are y'all? Are you doing your show, or is Kitty still doing your show? If Kitty's still doing your show, then I'm fine. If Kitty's not doing your show, then I gotta start over again. Wow, 3 people in already. I am amazed. I can barely read the screen, so I'm not trying to tell people to speak up, but I got the sun in my face. Of course, if I turned it around so the sun wasn't in my face, I wouldn't see it at all. Okay, so Kitty's still doing it, then we're good. Okay, good thing I decided to come back here so that the Texas music would be a little quieter. Howdy, Boris. Howdy, Steph. Howdy, Skip. Probably howdy, Phil. So as I was saying, for the first little bit, before I was rudely interrupted by them telling me, hey, you're upside down, dumbass. It's not rude for them to say that to me. In fact, I think it's proper that they said it to me, because thank you, I appreciate being told, hey, I'm a dumbass. When I'm doing stupid stuff, let me know. So I'm scraping off some tool marks because, as Eric from Sea Smoke Pipes told me, you dye it. After it's dyed and you sand it back to black, you'll see tool marks every time. Even he. I mean, maybe not everybody. There might be some people out there that can do this without showing up some tool marks. But I thought it was me that had done it wrong. And Eric came to my rescue and he said, no. Happens to everybody who's trying to make a pipe. You find those tool marks after you've dyed it black, and you go back in there and you file those down with some sandpaper till you get those tool marks off of there, and then you spot touch all the spots that you've sanded down. And once you've sanded that, or once you've spot touched them up with some more dye, then you can decide whether you're going to continue to work on it or not. But you should have been able to remove all the tool marks, or most of them. Anything that you don't want to stay as a tool mark. Maybe you've got a good looking one, maybe you don't. Well, Boris, I am envious of any place that's got a lot of snowfall, because they don't have a bunch of people trying to mow the lawn right while they're trying to do a live stream. I can guarantee right now there's nobody trying to mow the lawn in Finland. Y'all see that nice sparkly thing? That's this cup of coffee. Coffee's so good, I put my name on it. Y'all saw that, right? Only sailor allowed in and around my house is Donald Duck. I don't know why. Once COVID's over, things will be different. So yeah, I've got a little sanding to do back here. I had originally intended to do it up there at the front yard like normal. But no, the lawnmowers. And then they chased me back here. They're in the yard next door. If I went straight through the phone right over there, they'd be there. And then they're going to be in the yard right behind me. Something tells me snow blowers are not as loud as these guys' noisy as hell lawnmowers. 2 days in a row I've had to mess with this. I mean, it was okay when it was my lawn being done, seriously, because that guy was in and out 30 minutes or less. And from when he showed up, I had a hose back out here that I had to grab hold of and get rolled up and out of his way. I do not expect my lawn guys to take care of my lawn equipment. They take care of their equipment. I take care of mine. It should be that way. It's my tools. So anyways, the only people that have seen this thing up close and personal right now is Steph&Skip. And they thought it looked good. And I kept seeing all of the spots that needed to be sanded down a little bit more. Get those tool marks off of there. Once I get the tool marks off of there, then we can see what I can really do with this pipe. Not saying that Steph&Skip don't know what they're talking about. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that me, as the maker, was not happy with the result. So I decided that it needed to be fixed. Howdy, Cliff. Oh yeah, Texas music, baby. Pretty soon we'll be hearing that same sound in Arkansas. I can guarantee it. But I'm working on a little pipe project right now. I was going to work out in the front yard, but you know, as soon as I started setting up the... Howdy, Eric. Eric, I appreciate you telling me that tool marks are normal and you find them a lot when you dye it black. And after you've sanded the black back off of there, you find that there's a lot of tool marks, or there are some tool marks. So I took your advice. I'm sanding tool marks off of this thing. Not trying to get crazy with it in certain spots, just trying to get the tool marks off. And I'm actually going real smooth. I'm going with a 400 grit. I know I could probably go 120 or 240, but it's in such small spots in some of this that I didn't want to ruin any of the curves that I got that I like. And some of the dye, like here in what I'm calling the Eye of Jupiter section here, I didn't want that to be removed at all. But there was a tool mark that got in pretty close, so like I said, I went with a real fine grit for doing what I'm actually doing, so that I could try and control it a little better. Hopefully that's the right method. I take it Cliff was just over there with you, Eric, over on Sea Smoke Pipes. I am not trying to bogart any time. I'm just coming in to do a tailgate for Steph&Skip, but adversely, it's actually for Kitty Maxboon, because Kitty Maxboon is supposed to be doing the show for Steph&Skip. Even though Steph&Skip are now home, but I asked them, they said, no, she's still doing it as far as they know. Hey, it's good to have a day off. When you can have them, get them. Hey, don't blame me. I'm not doing this because I'm trying to tear up somebody else's show. Eric's show is actually much more interesting. He actually makes pipes. I just screw around with it. You're still unpacking and stuff. Skip, you need a lot of that, brother. Anybody who's been on a submarine long enough to be comfortable probably needs a lot of beauty rest. Luckily, I am not running a 3-hour and something minute show today. That one damn near killed the vocal cords yesterday. But I hung it in there. For those of you who wanted to see more of that show, I apologize. I am not really set up like Chad is to go for 3 hours on a regular basis. How he does it, I do not know. It was ridiculous. Oh, hey Dell, how you doing? Steph, you're way more fun than I am. I guarantee that. Because I also can guarantee 99.9% sure I'm an asshole. And I'm proud of it. If you ever see me have a troll on my video feeds, you'll understand. Cliff saw it once. Now, some people would just try to be nice to a person who's being a troll, or they would erase their comments or whatever. No, I'll let you go. I'll let you go. But you won't like what you get. And if y'all see me squinting, it's because with the sun hitting me in the face, the glasses go dark because they're those transitions lenses. And then I haven't figured out how to change the words to a color that's going to be bright. Howdy, Jose. Glad to see you there. yes, I am sanding the pipe. So, so before I get too much farther with sanding the pipe from what I'm doing today, because I figured I would start a little bit early and do a little bit of this work while people were hanging out or coming in or whatever. So I'm going to say it. It's not a big question or problem here. I have gotten help on turning this pipe from a block of wood into what you see here. First off, let's go ahead and give a big shout out and thanks to Mike at Briar Blues, who sent me the block of briar. It was pre-drilled, and so was the stem. The stem was already pre-shaped. Okay. But I've asked Jay Mouton questions. I've asked Philip Rivara questions. I have asked Eric at Sea Smoke Pipes questions. There has been questions that have gone out to Garbage Man Piper. That's Mel Harris, in case you're looking for him. You know, I've talked to just about every pipe maker that I could lay words into. At least any of them that were going to talk to me about what was going on. And I asked them all kind of different questions. And sometimes I got answers to questions I didn't even know I was supposed to ask just by watching their videos. And yeah, Eric and Jay Mouton and Philip Rivara and Jay Allen, I believe, yeah. And you know, I can't tell you how many guys have helped me to produce this pipe into what it is right now. I did it with the wrong tools, and I started with the wrong stuff, and I had the wrong attitude, and I eventually got to the point where I just said, you know what, I'm doing this. I've got a little thing I've got to do right over here. Sorry, I'm out here on the solar charger. I can show that to you. Watch this. You see the two little solar panels? Even though they're a little bit in the shade, and then the two flashlight looking things, those are all actually charging up right now. The two solar panels are actually charging the phone as we're on here, so that I don't go completely dark on you. But when I brighten the screen enough, it fades the words. But if I don't brighten the screen enough, I can't see it at all. And if I take the screen and make it real bright, it sucks the battery down so quick that in an hour show, dead. So I can't do that either. Cliff, I will agree with you on that statement. That it is like asking the Supreme Court about taking care of a parking ticket for you. I mean, the level of experience of the guys that I was able to ask is a couple hundred years worth of experience if you gotta look at it for real. And some of the best pipe makers on the planet. There's no way I can thank them enough for sharing their knowledge with me, because it's helped me produce something that's actually pretty nice. Skip held it. He says, man, that fits in your hand real well. It is my sweat that went into that pipe. But I could have sweat 5 buckets of sweat and not come up with anything that looked that good if I hadn't have been smart enough to say, first, I don't know what I'm doing. And second, I have an idea of what I want to do, but let me ask some questions of people who actually know how to do what I'm trying to do. So I've got to say, big thanks to all of those who have helped. It was a lot of you, and for those who haven't actually gotten around to being thanked individually, I'm going to be doing that sooner or later. All right, Cliff, that's funny. Woohoo! Scotland is butchering Italy in rugby. Six Nations game. Yeah, we don't mind that little old band from Texas here in Texas. Don't you know it? Just as long as while she's holding it, she ain't wearing a pearl necklace, I guess it'll be all right. Did I say that out loud? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Let's go with the straight stem one today. Hey, I'm not Chad, but I can smoke like him. Actually, I can't smoke like him. His stuff is all dried out. I went home and after giving the stuff that I had tried to dry out as much as possible, I gave some of this stuff to Steph&Skip. And then they set it down somewhere and watched a pit bull try to eat it. Whew. All right, well, Jose, you be very careful wherever it is that y'all are heading. Of course, around here, if you're heading to Conception City, that means you're about to be having way too much fun to be watching a YouTube video. Just saying. Or at least you should be having way too much fun to be watching a YouTube video. I'm back here trying to get away from those lawnmowers. My mother-in-law thinks I belong in the backyard. You knew what was coming, that the pit bull tried to eat the tobacco? Yeah. Well, it smells like bourbon. And I'm going to tell you, I was pretty surprised with how much it smells like bourbon. I'm going to tell you, it's decent, but man, did it get shipped soggy. What I gave Steph&Skip, I've actually been working on getting dried out for the better portion of a week. And I normally split into old tins a little bit at a time so I can get it to dry out nice and steady. But I keep the lids on it when it gets above 70% humidity, like it is now. But yesterday, while it was 30% humidity, I was literally just letting it melt off of there. Thank God. Oh, Let's see, where'd we go? Where'd we go? Oh, Paradise City. I see it now. Hello Kitty. Why are we going Hello Kitty? To me? I know for a fact it's not to me. Yeah, watching me in winter was pretty interesting though, wasn't it, Dell? As I was freezing my 1-1, 2-2, and 3-3 off. Luckily, it's not Martin's 2-2. Working on getting dried out for months. I can understand that. Oh, he's going to say that to Kitty Maxboon. Okay, well, I can understand that. But she's not in here yet. She is coming up. Now, I don't have my little my tablet out here in the backyard with me, because I got to have it plugged in so it will be bright enough, and I've only got one cord and one set of solar panels, and it won't steadily charge if I've got the tablet on as bright as it'll go. So I'm stuck out here kind of hanging out. So yes, please, somebody shout real loud. Scott's won 52-10. That's not beaten. That's dirty. Good Lord. Well, y'all can Hello Kitty during this live feed all you want. Because obviously, if it were up to me, it would be Hell No Kitty. And if it was up to my wife, it would be the same Hell No Kitty. Sorry, I can't help it. I'm going to say off things. If you didn't know that, you haven't been watching for many minutes. And I do mean minutes, because I throw an off statement at least every live show. There's no question. As I asked Martin, instead of what soundbite he gave me, can I have "Hello me, meet the real me in my misfits way of life"? No, that's copyrighted, so he couldn't give it to me. But it's fine. It's fine. Oh, and by the way, everybody, do not use a Marshall Tucker band song in any of your live feeds, or your freaking video is going to be deleted off the face of the planet. You'll thank me later. Whereas groups like Pantera, another little band from Texas, you're only going to be banned in Cuba, Syria, Iran, and North Korea. And that might offend Hillary Rodham Clinton's idea of who you should be able to send your videos to. That was Hillary with a P. But, I'm not too worried about I'm not too worried about Il Jong-un or whatever his name is. I knew you were there, Phil. But you're the one that came out there and started playing around on Twitter at freaking 1 o'clock in the morning. Blame me. Uh-oh, Phil's gonna get a hat. Phil, you should make a video, a box opening. It'll be the first content ever on Phil's channel. Wouldn't that be lovely? He'll probably get Bill to do it. Oh, and if you're wondering how I make that much coffee, I use the slow drip method, the slow pour. Or as Phil likes to say, the Mary Tyler Moore method. Who we kidding? He'll probably have one of his staffers do the video. It won't be Phil. It'll just be someone saying they're Phil. But it would be pretty cool stuff. But yes, there I was, working on a pipe, getting advice from all these guys, scribbling down as many notes as I could take. Gotta say, a lot of that knowledge came through, and it turned out pretty nice as far as the pipe goes. There's still some flaws. Don't worry, I've got plenty of learning still to do. Like how, without using a lathe, to actually get a perfectly round surface instead of this couple of spots where it's kind of oblong. I might never figure that out, but hey, what am I supposed to do? Doing what I can, right? Alright, coffee's down. That way any more tree leaves fall into it, I don't have to worry about it. I can just wash them out later. Damn, is it dark out here? Bright and sunshiny. Dell, I am so far away from master pipe. Eric, round might be overrated, but when you're trying to make a billiard, you better figure out round. Or paneled. I mean, I guess it could be a paneled billiard, but I'm not going to do that. I'm trying to get things to be the shape they're supposed to be. I mean, if you don't do some of the classics, how can you ever do any of your own pipes without saying, yeah, I actually can do the classics? Hell, I literally was asking Phil on one of my live feeds to talk me through it. And then he went on right after my live feed, and he was showing me what I should be basically trying to do, and it was on a Zoom, so I gotta thank Chad for that, which unfortunately he's not right here with us right now. Yes, sir, I do agree with that statement. But I have figured out that I am pretty good at figuring out what I can do. And I think I've done a little bit more than I'm supposed to be able to do with the tools I had. But I still haven't done quite what I think I can. I'm close. But, you know, horseshoes, hand grenades, thermonuclear warfare, all things where close actually counts. It's so bright out here, I can't even hardly see if the flame is going. Cliff, hey, that is not a problem. If y'all ever see Phil Rivara or Jay Mouton or Jay Allen or something like that, and he's on one of my live feeds, and you feel like, hey, I want to buy a pipe from this guy, but I kind of need to do it a little bit on the sly, you could straight up, because remember, this is a tailgate. Think of it exactly like a tailgate. Hang out, be with friends, have a good time. Nobody's going to mind if you're having to hotwire it, basically, to get some business done. It's what happens at tailgates. It's like golfing, except for without the clubs and the stupid little ball that'll never go in the hole for me. I one time golfed Augusta National because my sister was married to some guy who used to live there, and his family still does. Yeah. I would have done better to just walk around with a camera and take photos. That should have been the shooting I was doing. Nope. I tried to play golf. Probably the worst round of golf Augusta National has ever seen. Ever. The best I can tell you is on at least one spot, I finally figured out how to keep my balls dry. You know the hole that I'm talking about if you've ever seen that damn course. It's a beautiful course. Oh my God. If you ever get the chance to go to Augusta National and just walk the course, highly suggested, even if you can barely walk. Just beautiful. And the course has only ever been shut down for a certain amount of time. One time. World War II. Because the owners decided that it was going to be a good time to let the United States raise cattle on the golf course. So they just let the grass grow long, and the cattle got to eat. Dell, there probably is a award for that. Luckily, it was well before the invention of cell phone video taking cameras. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure that it would have been all over like America's Funniest Home Videos and YouTube and half a dozen other things. Well, Cliff, if you ever decide to take up golf, remember, most golfers that are not the professional golfers go to the golf course with or a cigar. And it's a great place to have yourself a pipe or a cigar as you walk leisurely along these beautifully manicured lawns. You'll just have to remember, don't take your fishing rod and shove it into your bag, because when you get to the water traps, you're not supposed to actually try to hammer those catfish and whatever else they've stocked in there to control the mosquito population. And no, don't take the dynamite either. Oh no, the walking portion of golf is very enjoyable also, especially, like I said, at Augusta National, this manicured, immaculate lawn that you wish you could have something like that at your own house. Beautiful. Turf is just perfect. It's got the right amount of springy to it. Hanging out with other guys. I would have done better as a caddy than actually playing. But I wanted to be a man. I wanted to play golf with the other men. Yeah. I sucked. They laughed at me. Now, getting into Augusta National and actually playing, you better be somebody or know somebody or be lucky enough to be related in some way, shape, or form to somebody. Because it ain't just, they're not just going to let you walk up and go on in. Oh no. You got to be a club member. Or like I said, related to or in the company of a club member. Which means you either live there or you're on the PGA. Well, you walk 100 yards, you swipe at a ball, you watch to hopefully see where the heck it went. Then you walk up to the ball again, you whack it again. In the meantime, you're steadily going. And you get to watch some of your friends play, and sometimes they're just as bad of a hack as you are. Okay, not when I was at Augusta National. Nobody in my group was as bad as I was. Skip, I think you're going to like that bourbon flavor. It is bourbon flavored. I would love to say, oh, exactly which kind of bourbon. I mean, I know it's not turkey. I know it's not Jim Beam. It's not as sweet as like a Southern Comfort. It's just got that flavor. Now, don't get me wrong, hunting and fishing is fun. But there's not always a season that you can go and get. I mean, if you're out of season for one and you're in season for another, but the in-season stuff that you can get to is too much out of your day range for like a little 3 hours or so, golfing would be a good way to just handle up on that 3-4 hours, you know. No big deal. It's got a slight little bit of a, almost a vanilla. But if you've ever really had good bourbon, you know that there's some little notes of vanilla in most good bourbons, with a little bit of like a caramel that's in there. It's just one of those weirdly enjoyable blends. I thought about getting rum and maple, that way I could make sure to hand y'all a big old pouch of that. But when I went to order it, they were temporarily sold out, and I was like, fine, what am I doing for my birthday? %, humidity. Yeah, it'll only take, what, 5-10 minutes? Crazy thing about Houston, sometimes you have to dry something, literally dry it on some paper towels overnight because it's just too wet, and there's nothing you can do other than just like wait for it to dry. Jose, I like this background too, but the screen is really hard to see. And I don't have anything to plug into from out here. Yeah, I know, electrician without an electrical. I'm not running it out here to the back. And besides, if I ran it out here to the back, I'd have to put in a post right about where I'm sitting to run it to, because if I go any farther, it's actually in the city's right of way. I barely can grow grass in their right of way, much less anything else. And except for the fact that the white section that's normally right over here on this side of me is well, I can say it, it's no big deal. Dig Tigs, good morning. Well, I would, but right now, the way it's attached to the grill that's out here is by a magnet. There's a lot of issues about just trying to do anything out here. Most of it's that this backyard is set up to not be ideal for much of anything. It's nice though. I like it. It's soothing. It's relaxing. So, yeah, the shoebox and the cardboard box thing right now is probably out. Besides the fact that, as you can see, these darken up pretty dark when, heck, I can see it better with my glasses off, except for one thing. I can't see that far. Can't read it. Jeff! It is Jeff, right? Jeff? Jeff is aromatics? Yes, I believe so. Yes. I think I remember that aromatics is Jeff. Yes, other people are saying Jeff too. All right. I'm not completely dumb. I'll be done in a little bit. Yes, I'm pretty sure Christina is there also. Hi, Christina. So anyways, yes, normally I sit on the front porch because it's got a nice overhang, keeps the sun off of me. Everything's really nice there. I've got a place to plug in the phone. Everything just works real well. The problem is, when they're running the lawnmowers, and I can still hear them out there, but they're a little bit down the street, so it's not as bad. Christina's out with her sister causing havoc. Canada, be afraid. Be very afraid. But yeah, I've almost got all of the tool marks off the pipe. Trying to make sure to show this before Kitty Maxboon comes on. I'm going to have to do a little more sanding, just some fine sanding. Just a few little creases that need to be just touched. And it's because I made some mistakes by using the files I used. Well, one of your fellow Canadians sent me a whole block of briar, actually 2 of them. And this is the second one. The first one is kind of a Frankenstein pipe. This one is more of a traditional, well, I believe it would be considered a billiard. But I might be wrong about that. It might not be a billiard. All I know for certain is I tried my best. But yes, homemade pipe. It's big and chunky, like me. Actually, Steph is probably going to say I'm not chunky, now that she's actually met me. I'm just a little on the plush side. But not like a Hello Kitty plush. Wow, I just got like 10 messages on there. Okay. Skip would call it a stacked billiard. Shorten the bowl and it would look like a chin pipe from... heck, I don't remember either. Dell's got tea and scones. Which kind of tea, Dell? Phil might be gone after I threw that PRC name out there. But Lord knows, if you've never seen a crazy enough video, you should. There was a Face of Phil video that I did some months back. And when I did the reveal of who I thought Phil was, he was online and saw it. And he was just like, oh, hell no. English breakfast tea. Well, that's always good. Yes, electric lawnmowers would work, or battery powered. They actually make a few battery powered ones now. And the guy with the leaf blower yesterday, yeah, that was completely just ridiculous. See, there is Earl Grey, and my personal favorite tea, at least if I'm going to go hot tea, is Prince of Wales by Twinings. Really, really tasty. Ooh, there it goes. Sleepy Time Vanilla. I do not do Sleepy Time anything. Jose says my tea choice is a good one. I wouldn't have known except for the fact that I drink tea a lot. No, I don't try to chamois my tea. I know that's chamomile. I am not doing tea as a latte. Of course, then again, I'm not doing lattes. Latte freaking da! Not doing chai tea either. I mean, I might do tea from China, but that's not chai tea, that's Chinese tea. I am staying out of that statement, Steph. Really, Russian caravan tea. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to try a lot of Kia tea then. Gentleman collar tea? Yeah, no. I didn't know that there was a Russian caravan tea. I'm going to have to start looking for that. Now, my mother-in-law won't like it probably, but that's fine with me. That means I can have the whole box. Lapsang Schlong tea. I know I'm reading that wrong, but it's too bright out here and I can't get it to stop being shiny. So I'm going to apologize to Skip for messing that one up. But here shortly, Kitty Maxboon's coming on. I'm not sure what time it is over here. Let's see, 11:47, so call it 13-ish minutes. If she comes on early, I'm out early. If she comes on later than normal, well, I'll hang out for a little bit. The wife is kind of about to skin me alive for the amount of time I've spent on YouTube this week. In the Netherlands. Look at there. We're going to be jumping all over the world. And I had a very nice group of international people yesterday on my 3-hour-something-minute live. How does Chad do it? I don't care. Somebody wants to try doing a 3-hour live? I dare you. By yourself. Go ahead. Try it. Holy cow. You're going to have new, mad kind of respect for Chad. $9.95. Come on. 5 away. This is killing me, Steph. But at least you made it home to El Paso with that long 14-hour drive. Wink, wink. Wait, did I say the wink, wink part out loud? That's right, Cliff. You ask her, where are these people? Because you're tired of looking at me. Steph, don't rat yourself out. The 14-hour drive, wink, wink. We do not need DPS trying to hunt you down. Though, like I said, y'all probably just got up behind some 18-wheelers out there in the middle of nowhere and just cruised along with them. Cliff, now we know that your level of insanity has definitely climbed a few notches since you joined the YTPC. Looking at this ugly mug all day? You're either straight crazy or you're smoking crack. And I don't believe that a dentist is smoking crack. Well, as long as you've verified that your standards ain't too damn high. My standards are just high enough to crawl under a snake's belly. Except for my standards in women. Which is why when the wife starts looking at me like, "You're done," I tend to go and get the last word. For all of y'all who don't know that every man can get the last word, all it has to be is, "Yes, ma'am." After you've agreed with them and called them ma'am, if they still want the last word, all you got to do is tell them again, "Yes, ma'am." Eventually they'll get the hint and they'll let you have the last word. Cliff, I'm fine. You can't hurt my feeling. You notice that there's no S on the end of that word. I've only got one, and I've hidden it so bad I can't find it anymore. "60% of the time, Cliff gets the last word every time." So did anybody other than me watch Martin's show last night as he ate a spicy cracker that was sent to him, well, actually sent to Marty Jr. by Mike at Briar Blues? Oh my God. I was laughing so hard, I about fell out the chair. I swear to God, I might have wet myself. It was hilarious. If you have not seen it, you need to go back and watch his live show. It's not going to take forever, but you can move that slider back through to when you see Marty Jr. And oh yeah, it was beautiful. I did kind of cry a little bit when Steph had to leave. Skip, not so much. He wore that ugly red hat on purpose. If it wasn't for that, maybe Skip too. Oh yeah, Dell, I'm telling you, when he went and started eating on that spicy cracker, I was like, man, you better hope you got some hot coffee there. No, he didn't have hot coffee. So real quick before I have to get out of here, because Kitty will come on shortly, I'm pretty sure. There is a science between what I'm telling you and hot peppers. Okay. All of the Scovilles, which is that burn the capsaicin, anyways, all of the capsaicin is carried from the pepper onto your tongue in an oil. The more capsaicin that a pepper has, the more of it coats your tongue. Because your mouth is suddenly producing saliva, the water that's in your mouth is not warm, it's body temperature, so it's not warm enough to lift the oil off of your tongue. So all it does is spread it around some. You take the hot coffee, and it's hot enough that it will lift the capsaicin and the oil from the pepper off of your tongue, and it will suspend it. And because coffee has an oil inside of it that is actually more of a coating than the oil that's in a pepper, it will coat your tongue, and then the capsaicin washes right down your throat, into your belly, where you've got stomach acid that makes most capsaicin look like nothing. And there it is. So if you've got something that's completely way too hot, trust me on this. Hot coffee. You don't need bread and butter. You don't need ice cream. You don't need all of that other stuff. Hot coffee works 100% of the time. Howdy TX. Don't worry about missing my live. I never worry about people who have missed out on my live. Got to remember, A, this is a meeting place for people who are waiting for the next show. And B, that you even tried to get in it's a great thing for me. You never have to apologize. You've got 1,000,000,003 things you could be doing, and you decided to spend a little bit of time, or a lot of bit of time, here with me. I can't ever say that there should ever be any reason to apologize. Ever. At least not to me. If you feel like apologizing to other people, go right ahead. But you don't have to do that for me. I'm never going to be upset with people coming in. Even if it's the last second. You're tasting the burley. Well, if you're sifting the burley out of Warhorse Green so that you can trade it, I mean, Chad will probably take it once he can smoke again. All right, so before we get really crazy, y'all remember, Chad needs your thoughts and prayers and good energy sent. He's got the COVID, he's got the Rona, and I heard something about him going to the hospital. I'm not sure. I believe I saw that on Cliff. I always try to keep it a little bit of something. I got a lot of crazy, stupid information up here. I know, like, useless facts about all kinds of stuff. But sometimes it actually comes back into play. Like I said, if you watched Martin eat that hot pepper cracker last night, it was hilarious. Worth every second of the over 30 hours I've been watching to watch him hopping around going, whoa! Oh, God, that's hot. No big deal, Steph. If nothing else, shoot her an email and tell her, hey, you coming on? You gotta remember, she might think that it's an hour later because Europe might not actually do the time change for another couple of weeks. Boris was letting us know about that just the other day. He was like, oh, everybody came on another hour early. What the hell? Yeah, we already went through the damn stupidity change. I mean, time change. Yeah, spring forward. Hell, I'm too mean to get corona. Like my beers like I like my soul. Dark. I'll take Guinness. Okay, so Chad is in the hospital. That's not good. Well, some of those Amphora blends are really nice. I just don't like all of the little pouches that they try to send you if you try to order it in bulk. All right, well, there's no way I can run a 2-hour show. I will run out this bowl, and I'm going to call it a day for me. Mostly because I don't want to die. And she who must be obeyed, she knows where the cast iron skillet is and where I sleep. So if y'all want to jump off of here, that's fine. I'm not trying to be a Mr. Know-It-All or a Bogart in everybody's time. Cornell and Deal has some really good stuff, but some Sutliff stuff is surprisingly good. If you can deal with the tongue bite, Lord Nelson is very tasty. It reminds me of Memphis ribs. And then Voodoo Queen, one of my other favorites. It's how I ended up with the moniker Voodoo Review. I was reviewing it like on Twitter, and I made that statement, and I decided to say, wait, I kind of like that. I think I'll keep it. The rum and maple was surprisingly good. And I'm not much on aromatic blends. But if it's a good blend, you're gonna know. Oh, you're welcome, Skip. Now see, what I normally do when I'm ordering, I go to Smoking Pipes, and I like their tobacco finder. And if they don't have what I'm looking for at a better price than I've seen it somewhere else, I'll go somewhere else and get it. But I'll use their tobacco finder to look up what I'm looking for. So if I want Perique and Latakia, I'll use their tobacco finder, and I will put in must include Perique and Latakia in their filters. It'll pop up a list of stuff, and then I'll go through and I'll write down a few that I want to try, and if they're out of stock or whatever, I'll go and look at all the other ones, and if I find it, or if it's a better price somewhere else, I'll order it from that. But I almost always want Perique and Latakia, and I've been trying to edge off of the Perique and Latakia for my own personal tastings, but I've been going with, okay, I need to check out the strength, needs to be at least a medium, because if it's anything weaker than a medium, I'm not going to like it, because it's going to take forever to get enough of it into me that I'm going to be saying, oh, okay, I'm satisfied with it. Yeah, see, the rum and maple, what I really liked is that it's strong enough that it's actually satisfying, and it does not overload you on the maple side to the point where you're just like burned out on it, like Autumn Evening from C&D does. Don't get me wrong, I do like Autumn Evening, but I can't smoke it all day long. If I smoke Autumn Evening all day long, by about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm like, I'm done. Done. Whereas rum and maple, or is that maple and rum? Rum and maple. I was able to smoke that all day long and just be like, this is really on point. Mumford Point Marines. No, I have not. But Perique, Latakia, Dark Fired, probably because of the Dark Fired. The Dark Fired for me normally ends up tasting sour, so I tend to shy away from it. Not because I'm thinking that it's bad, just because I don't like it, but if I don't like a blend, I try to stay off of the ingredients that I don't like. Have not tried Sutliff J4, at least not as of yet. And right, no Sutliffs outside of the Americas, which is a little bit of a pain in the butt when I'm discussing those with people from Europe and from Australia. But at some point in time, if If I know for a fact I'm ever going to Finland, I am going to be taking like a suitcase for clothes and a suitcase for certain Sutliff blends that is unavailable in Finland, because it would be things that I think Boris would like. I know, stay off the Latakia. I apologize. Old Dark Fired reminds you of Memphis ribs. Okay. Try Lord Nelson. Just remember, it is, even when it's dry, it has a good potential for tongue bite. And I mean, just the smell of it was like, oh God, this is Rendezvous right there in Memphis. Block and a half off of Beale, right down a dark alley. And if you've ever been to Memphis, you know what I'm talking about. A smokier, spicier Billy Bud. Well, that sounds like fun. Right, so Sutliff is owned by McBaron. But Sutliff is basically the bulk brand so that they can put out cheaper blends by bulk without lowering the quality of the McBaron. Right? I kind of figured you had, Cliff, being that Arkansas is, you know, just a short little hop over to Memphis. Just don't stop in West Memphis. I don't care how big and bad you think you are. Ain't nobody needs to stop in West Memphis, which is in Arkansas. I'm willing to bet Cliff is going to agree with me on this one. But if you are going to Arkansas, take your own cigars and your own pipe tobacco, because those stores over there are like closets and they barely have any stock. But you can go over to the Hooters right there in Memphis. Walk out the front door, just keep your left arm against the wall, and you can walk right around the corner and you come to a really nice cigar bar. Nope, I've never been to Memphis. And then if you leave that cigar bar and you walk across the street, well, not directly out their front door, but you walk back towards where Hooters was, and then across the street, and then up the block, and then across the street again, you're at the Flying Saucer. But no, I've never been to Memphis. I was there for a while. Oh, sorry, Jose. You have a good day, and I will see you again. Everett, good to see you. Unfortunately, I'm going to be out of here pretty quick. Graceland is awesome, but it's in the ghetto. So I'll give you a real quick fun story about Memphis. I was there for my 30th birthday. I'm a little over 40 now, coming up on 47. And I'll go ahead and say it. Birthday's April 4th. Doesn't mean anything, right? Right. No big deal. So I'm there in Memphis on my 30th birthday. I've got a long weekend. I'm there for work. Nothing to do. I go to the hotel front desk that I'm staying at. And I said, hey, where's a good place around here where I can have a couple of drinks and, you know, good live atmosphere? You know, I'm going out tonight. Just want to know where some good places would be. And the girl behind the front desk said, no, you're not going out tonight. No, I'm going out tonight. So just give me a couple names of some places that, you know, seem like happening places. Someplace fun. I'm going to go out and have a few drinks, have a good time. No, you're not going out tonight. I'm like, damn, this woman crazy. Actually, I didn't think woman. I thought the other word starts with a B, ends in an itch. But I looked over at the security guard and I was like, you hear this? She says I can't go out tonight. He's like, she's right. You can't go out tonight. I'm like, these people are damn lost their minds. I'm going out. The security guard said, no, come here, son. He was an older man, probably closer to his 60s than needs to be told. So I go over there to him and he says, you realize that today is the anniversary of the day that Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in Memphis? You go out into Memphis tonight, they'll kill you. And I was like, oh, shit. Okay, where's a good place I can go get a couple of 12 packs? I'm going to go hang out in my room all weekend. Yeah. So at least it was funny to me. Gotta remember, I was not even born when Martin Luther King Jr. died. Sad that he did. Thought his message was a good message, at least me personally. Definitely, Skip. Safety first. Not going out there to get killed. Oh yeah, that changed my method and thoughts about going out just like that. I said, hell no. Now I understand why you're saying I can't go out there tonight. I won't make it back. No, those people at the desk were not being rude. They were trying to save my life. And I appreciate it. So I went down to a little store that wasn't but about 2 blocks away. Got a couple 12 packs of beer and hung out in my room all weekend. Ordered pizza and didn't leave. Like, nope. Not even going to attempt it. And then a little over a month later, Memphis in May starts. And I'm telling you right now, guys, if you are there, find yourself a spot on a balcony somewhere near Beale. Put your head on a swivel and leave your wife at home. Absolutely, Cliff. There's a lot of ways to go out there and get yourself killed, but lack of information is the least pleasurable one. That's why when all these guys brag about all the girls they pick up at bars, and then they look at me and say something like, yeah, you wouldn't even be able to pick up a girl at closing time. I tell them, you're right. Mostly because if I'm still there at closing time, I was there to close it. And I'm still drinking. I'm not there for women. I'm there to drink. And any girl who's still there at closing time, probably pretty rough. And any girl who would actually look at me and say, oh yeah, we're going home, they probably got really low standards, and I'm going to say it, it's probably radioactive and you don't want any. That stuff will kill you. Just saying. I didn't get no diseases coming up through the world. Is what it is. Right, right. Went home with Bo Derek and woke up with Bo Diddley. If you know who Bo Diddley is, you know why that's funny. Well, ladies and gents, I'm going to tell you, there is nothing left in this pipe but air and a little bit of char. As I said, I was going to finish this up. Everett, you're not too ugly to pick up women. It's all about technique. Just remember, when you pick them up, you got to put them back down. Otherwise, they'll scream. Or at least they do if it's me picking them up. All right, gentlemen and ladies, it has been massively fun. Hour and 40 minutes in. But I gotta go. The wife is going to kill me if I don't pretty soon. As per always, y'all take care of yourselves. Take care of each other as best you can. Right now, our brother Chad is, of course, knowing about taking care of himself and wondering how in the hell did he get COVID. And let's all wish him the best of luck and a speedy recovery. As per normal. Be watching for Kitty Maxboon here in just a little while. I'm not sure when she's coming on. I'll probably have to miss that show. I'm sure she will enjoy spending time with y'all. And as always, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Y'all take care, and I will see you soon.